I even tell producers, if you're going to use a software, read the terms of service, because they will tell you certain things in there that you can and can't do with the sounds from like Omnisphere or
Yeah.
Serum or all these different things.
So this whole scenario is great, right? It's great. It's fantastic because it's twofold. There's two very important perspectives here, and I hate to be this guy, but
Be the guy
I'm this guy.
and be the other guy.
So the content creator who did the initial sort of breakdown of the terms of the agreement in regards to Spotify, did you see where he came back like 2 days later and retracted
No, I
the
didn't see
entire
that
thing?
one.
Okay, so here's the thing, everybody
I
out
didn't
here
catch that one.
in the world. It's going to be very important as we go forward for all of my independents who are making, even if you're an entrepreneur, period. If you're making business plans using Chat GPT, if you are now downloading or copying and pasting information into Chat GPT and asking Chat GPT to give you an outline or a summary based on that information, all those things are great, right? AI is great. Chat GPT is great. However, at this juncture, it is the equivalent to the human itself. It makes mistakes.
It does.
Okay.
Right.
And so what happened was those terms of service are specific to users, not to artists. They are specific to the people who create playlists, and that playlist being shared, of course, across the platform. If you create a playlist on Spotify, Spotify obviously has the right, terms of agreement are saying that they have the right to make that playlist available to everyone. But the way he explained it initially, it was like, they're going to take everything. It's all going to be,
pay you.
yeah.
Right.
So he ended up coming back maybe a day or two later and saying, hey, sorry, I ran it through Chat GPT. I didn't read it all myself.
No,
and he said, I even ran it through there 3 times, allegedly. That's what he said. I don't know why you would run it through 3 times, but let's just pretend like he did. And he was like, and it gave, and this is what I said on my post was basically the summary of what Chat GPT came up with. And he was like, and it was incorrect in terms of stating that it was specific to the artists, but it was actually specific to the users. Now, Tiffany Red from 100%ers, she was getting flooded with DMs, emails, whatever, from people saying, oh, we about to have to turn up on Spotify. She comes on, she does a post. She's like, hey, guys, I know everybody's saying about that Spotify thing, but you might need to read the terms of agreement a little slower, because that's not actually what it says and not who it pertains to. So then after I saw that, then I saw his post where he came back and was like, my bad.
He said, my bad. I'm sorry.
But so I say that to say everything you said in the lead up is correct. Read the terms. Because if you read the terms, then you don't need a guy on an Instagram page to tell you all the points that you missed off of a document that you didn't read. If he had read it, then he would have disseminated maybe not all of the information, because obviously ChatGPT is gonna do it faster and maybe even more thoroughly, but there would have been nuance in what he read that would have told him, hey, what I'm picking up and what ChatGPT is picking up is not really matching up. So maybe I should dig a little deeper before I do a whole post and incite a pandemonium to the point.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it is important to go read.
You gotta
read the terms of service for yourself. So here's
with anything though. I'm saying this is not just because, for example, I have people out here, we run a couple businesses. I have people out here applying for jobs and allowing ChatGPT to create their resume. Hey guys.
No, sir.
Let me tell you something.
Do not do that.
Let me tell you guys something. You're not the only person that's ever asked ChatGPT to make their resume. So guess what? Now there's a whole lot of y'all who resumes have identical verbiage in them.
Yep.
And so when I'm the person that's hiring and I'm reading these resumes, they all sound the same because all y'all lazy at
Yeah, write them in Chat GPT.
nothing genuine, nothing authentic, and nothing that's nuanced. And currently, Chat GPT doesn't always pick up nuance. And so it ends up giving him a explanation of something that was probably accurate, but only to a certain degree. And he out here announcing it like he done did the work. And people trust him.
Of course.
Like he done broke it down. And now he gonna give everybody the highlights, and we need to run out and take action. And I'm sure people was probably off the rip like, see, that's why I don't mess with Spotify.
Spotify, man, I want to lead that,
which is probably the right energy to have anyway towards Spotify.
Exactly.
But at least let it be based on actual factuals.
Exactly. Look, so I got the terms of service right here, right? I'm still reading because
it's a lot.
It's a lot in the terms of service.
I'm not gonna pretend like I read every single line. I'm a synopsis reader.
Me too. Me too.
Like if I get the gist of a paragraph, I don't need to read it.
I don't need the whole
verbatim.
Right.
No.
So I'm gonna look at it. There's some things I'm gonna read out of here because you should be reading the terms of service because it is your music. You're uploading music to this entity.
Mm-hmm.
So what rights are you granting this entity? And I'm reading the Spotify for Artists terms and conditions of use. So when I'm gonna go all the way down to numbers. What number is it? No, that's that third party. I'm with the page that says rights you grant us. Cause boy, I was like, oh, here we go. It's under number 4, content and intellectual property rights. It says the content you post on Spotify for artists, right? So here's some of the things it says. I was like, oh man. So it says you and your subscribing entity are solely responsible for all user content that you post. So whatever your subscribing entity is, right? That could be the name of your organization, whatever name you chose when you are doing business. That's literally what this is with Spotify. You are responsible for all the content that you post. You promise on behalf of Spotify, you promise on behalf of your subscribing entity that with respect to any user content you post on Spotify for Artists, 1, you own the rights to post such user content. Such user content is used by Spotify pursuant to the license granted below, which is a whole bunch of stuff. Right, it talks about what happens if you violate the terms of services. What happens? It talks about from publicity, privacy, personality, contract, and other rights of others, implying an affiliation with or
so can we talk about that real quick?
Yeah.
The important thing about that is, and the important thing about that has been in the news recently as well, is the fact that people have been adding artists to their releases that are actually not part of the release. So for example, I could say that I have a song featuring Chris Brown, right? And under my company, the Ubuntu Tribe, we released that. So then I could say, well, you can't hold me responsible for what Ubuntu Tribe released. I ain't know they was going to say that Chris Brown was on my song. Chris Brown is not on there. But when you start talking about algorithm, this was how people were attempting to, or are attempting to, defeat the algorithm. I don't have to wait for my name to be popping.
Right.
I'm going to add Chris Brown to my song, even though he's not actually on it.
Wow.
And then it's automatically going to become part of people's algorithmic playlist because now it's featuring Chris Brown.
That's right.
So the reason that it talks about you having the ability to upload and having the license for is because people were literally using image and likeness that was either not part of the work or that they did not have the rights to.
Wow. So
that's been in the news recently.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I want to read this whole part. It's a little bit long. I want to read this whole part, ladies and gentlemen.
You might well read it. They're not going to read it. They're going to ask ChatGPT
to read it.
Yeah.
It talks about license that you grant us, Spotify. Yeah. You as an artist. Here's what you grant Spotify. So it tells you Spotify does not claim any ownership rights in the user content you post to Spotify for Artists.